Let's do a picture talk of the book we read yesterday, The Desert. What is the name of the habitat in this picture? It's the desert. Has anyone ever been to the desert before? What is a desert like? A desert is so hot and dry. That's what the weather is like in the desert. Very hot and dry. It's also pretty sandy too, because it doesn't rain very much. The sun shines during the day and makes it really hot. Then at night, when the sun goes down, it gets a little cooler. Let's take a look at one of the animals we learned about that lives in the desert habitat. Remember, earlier in the year, we learned that animals need to protect themselves to keep themselves safe. They have to protect themselves from the weather, like when it's too hot or too cold for them. In the desert, animals have to protect themselves from the heat and the hot sun. They also have to protect themselves from other animals. In the desert, animals have to protect themselves from other animals that are trying to catch them. What desert animal is in this picture? Do you remember? A jackrabbit. How does a jackrabbit protect itself from the heat and stay cool? It uses its big ears to let off body heat into the air and to cool down. Let's take a look at another animal that we learned about. This animal has to protect itself from the weather and stay cool too. What desert animal is in this picture? The bobcat, yes. How is this bobcat protecting itself from the heat and staying cool in this picture? What is he doing? He's hiding in a shady cave away from the sun. So he's in the shade right now where there's some shadow. In the shade, it's cooler than when it's sunny out. Bobcats usually come out at night and sleep in caves or in the shade during the day so they can stay cool when it's hot outside. When the sun goes down and it's cooler, they come out and look for food. Animals that sleep all day and come out at night are called nocturnal animals. What kind of animal is this bobcat? Say it with me. Nocturnal. Nocturnal. Great job. Do you remember what this animal is called? This animal has to protect itself from the heat and stay cool too. What desert animal is in this picture? A rattlesnake. How is this rattlesnake protecting itself from the heat and staying cool in this picture? It's hiding in the shade of the rocks. Rattlesnakes not only protect themselves from the heat, but they also protect themselves from other animals. Rattlesnakes have a special way of warning other animals to stay away. How do rattlesnakes warn other animals? It rattles its tail and sticks out its tongue to hiss. So he rattles his tail and hisses to get other animals to go away. Let's take a look at one of our plants that we learned about as well. Here we are. Plants have to protect themselves in the weather in the desert too. Remember, the desert habitat is very dry and it hardly ever rains, but plants need water to live and to grow. Cacti are special plants that can live with very little water. They hold water inside themselves for a long time and only use a little bit at a time since it doesn't rain very often. Let's take a look back at the first page again. Here we are. This desert is very hot and dry. Desert animals stay cool in many different ways. Some animals hide under rocks. Some animals sleep all day and come out at night when it's cooler. Nocturnal animals. Plants like cacti have to store water so they can survive in the dry desert where it hardly ever rains. They hold the water inside and only use what they need to survive. All of the other plants and animals that live in the desert habitat have a special way of surviving here.